Welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, I have a little story time for you. So I'm going to be talking about the times when I got in trouble in school. There's some funny stories that go along with this one. If you guys don't know, I am 17. I am a junior in high school, and I have had my fair share of times when I've gotten in trouble in school. I haven't gotten in trouble in high school, but I definitely got in a lot of trouble in elementary school and also in middle school. So I just want to share with you guys kind of my experiences and the things that I got in trouble for, because some of them are a little ridiculous. But yeah, I was a little rebel in elementary school, so let's go. Kindergarten was probably the worst year for my times that I got in trouble, because I really got in trouble a lot. So, and some things I did get away with, which I'm gonna get into that a little bit later, but I started getting in trouble in elementary school. I'm just gonna start there and then work my way up to middle school. The first thing was this kid was making fun of my friend. We were at the playground. This is like my first memory in my life, don't know why, but we were out on the playground and he was like making fun of my friend and like going like this and everything, and I was like, he is really fighting with my best friend right now. And you know, we were inseparable in kindergarten, and you know, we still are inseparable, so like, he was messing with the wrong girl and I was going to stand up for my friend, so I kind of pushed him and it ended up backfiring, and I ended up pushing him and he fell into my friend, which I was trying to stick up for, and they both got bloody noses. And I went to the principal's office because obviously that's not very good. I gave two people bloody noses, and my best friend, I gave her a bloody nose, which is terrible. And I remember after they talked to me at the principal's office, I had to go into the nurse's office and apologize to both of them that I was truly sorry for pushing them. The next thing, I was also in kindergarten, the same exact class, and we were working with this little like McDonald's set. I don't know why. We had a toy that was like McDonald's or whatever, and they had like those little wrappers, which was like for the like McDonald's fries, and I really wanted it, so I took it home with me. And they called, I guess my teacher found out that I stole it, and the principal called home to my parents and said that I had stolen a play toy, which like really, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was literally a paper like McDonald's fry container, but like I did steal it, so I needed to like, you know, so yeah, that was interesting. And I also stole two other things that they did not catch me doing. One, I stole one of my teacher's books. I actually am pretty sure that I still have it. It was like this book about a tree or whatever. I remember no one was looking, so I just took it because I wanted it, which by the way, don't recommend doing that. It won't get you anywhere in life. But also, I used to go to this place for daycare, and they had a book that I really wanted, so I just took that. Apparently, I just take a lot of things without asking people. So luckily I've grown out of that habit. So that's everything that happened in kindergarten, and then I was pretty much out of the clear for a while until 5th grade. And so I was riding on the bus, and this kid called me a whale, which like, that's like a terrible like insult to call someone, is a whale. And I mean, I was pretty chubby in 5th grade. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look like a whale, but to him, I probably looked like a whale, and that's just very, like, a kindergartner thing to say. So he called me a whale, because he thought I was fat, and then I called him, so it was 3 boys that was saying it. It was, a friend of mine, and then, which we weren't really friends, because he was literally calling me a whale, but anyway, him, and there was a pair of twins that was a year younger than us. And so they called me a whale, and they were like talking to me on the bus or whatever. And then so I was like, okay, well, you're dumb, dumb, and dumber. And I got sent to the principal's office. I got sent to the principal's office for calling them dumb, dumb, and dumber, but they called me a whale. Don't use that as a comeback, ladies. The next thing was in 6th grade. We were in social studies, and this was actually my favorite teacher. So I'm like kind of sad. She gave me lunch detention, and I was doing the Running Man in class. She like left the room to like do something, and I think she was like, if I come back and you guys are like out of your seat or something, then you're getting lunch detention. And I was like one of her favorite students, so I'm actually really sad that she gave me lunch detention. But I mean, she did like reinforce what she was saying, so it makes sense. So everyone was like really loud and like doing their own thing. She left, and me and my friend at the time got up and started doing the Running Man, you know, the Running Man that used to be like a really popular dance. And she came in while we were doing that, and she was like, Jessica, Cadence, you guys have lunch detention. And I was like, okay. So we had lunch detention, and we didn't even get to sit at the same table. I had to sit with like these two like kids that I never talked to, and it was kind of awkward, but you know, it happens. The next time was in 8th grade, and I, at this point in my life, I had never been to the principal's office since middle school or since elementary school. And so I hated getting in trouble, like even lunch detention, like I hated that, because even though it wasn't really a big deal and it wasn't like I was getting like a referral or something, I really just like hated all types of like being in trouble. And so they called me up to the principal's office, and it was for a reason. It wasn't just for like anything. So let me give you some context on the situation. So this is when all of the school shootings were happening, and the thing that I did, they literally thought that I was a school shooter, which, like, insane, because I was, like, one of the, like, best students ever, and they were like, are you a school shooter? I'll get into that. So, when it's someone's birthday, we used to decorate their locker and make it really pretty and stuff. And so my close friend John at the time, he was getting moved out of our pods. So we had like different pods in like the like cluster that we were in, so that we had like organized groups of students for each class that you go to. And my friend John was getting moved out of the pod and into a different pod, so everyone was like really sad. And so we decorated his locker, and his like old locker, because he was switching pods. And so we decorated it all nice, and then I put like a sticky note on it that said "Rip John," because he was like leaving and that wouldn't be his locker anymore. And they took it out of context, and they were like, they thought that because I was saying "Rip John" on his locker, they thought that that meant that I was trying to like kill him, like saying like R.I.P., like rest in peace John, because you're gonna die soon. Very, very dark, especially for an 8th grader. Like when they called me up to the office, this is how it went down. So I noticed halfway through the day that someone took it down, and I was like, nobody can take down my sign. So I put it back up, and I like redecorated it and everything. And so I get called down to the office or whatever, and this principal was extremely rude. He came up to me and he was like, you need to tell me who was with you and who was doing this with you. And like no one was really doing it with me, so I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, can you like show me the video so I can give you an exact person? And he was like, I am not messing around, like you better do this right now and give me this person. And I'm like, I'm sorry, there was a lot of people around, and I don't exactly know exactly who you're talking about, because no one was directly doing it with me. And so he was like, fine, whatever. And so he showed me the video, and it was my friend, and she wasn't even involved in the situation at all. She was just around at the time that I was like putting it back up, and so they thought that she was like directly involved, but it was me who brought all the stuff and like decorated it or whatever. And so they called her up to the office, and I was like, listen, she didn't do anything, like she should not be in trouble for this. And so we had to write a letter saying like what exactly happened. And like the principal knew me, he knew that like I wasn't trying to be like harmful or whatever, and he knew that I was a good student or whatever. And I was like really upset about it, because I was like, this has never happened, like they're blowing this way out of proportion, and like not taking it into consideration of what I was actually doing. And so then he was like, yeah, I understand, like you guys are really good students, but if you do this again, you are going to get written up. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it again, so like, don't worry about it. Stick to decorating your friend's locker on their birthday and not on other special occasions. Last but not least, I really didn't get in trouble for this one. The Rip John one was honestly the biggest one that has ever like happened to me. This one, I wasn't in trouble, but police at my school were like trying to help me like get through something. So this kid not DM'd me, he like snapped me on Instagram and stuff. At the time I was adding back people that I didn't know. Don't recommend doing that. If you have Snapchat, do not add people back that you do not know, because that just never ends well for me. And yeah, I've had some bad experiences with that. So I added this kid back that I didn't know, and we were just like Snapchatting or whatever, but he wasn't sending me like any pictures of his face. It was just through like the typing part of Snapchat, like the chat area. And so he was just like being really weird. He was asking me for like pictures of myself, like not inappropriately, but just like to send him a bunch of pictures of myself. And I was like, this is really weird. Like, I don't feel comfortable with this. And so the cops got involved and they were like investigating it or whatever, and they said that because I was scared that it was going to be like an old man trying to get like my information. He was asking me like, what school do you go to and all this stuff, and I was like, this just seems like really weird. So the cops like called me up to the office one day, and I walk into the guidance office and there's a cop standing there, and I'm like, holy crap, like what's going on? So that's when I thought like that I was in trouble, but I didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, what's going on? And so he was like, so we did some investigating about this kid or whatever, and they were like, he obviously is just not good at flirting. So he was like just a boy, he wasn't like an old man or whatever, and he was just like asking me a lot of personal questions that like aren't okay to ask a person. And so the cop was like, he's probably just a teenager that doesn't know how to flirt with girls. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That is all the stories that I have for you guys. I think that that's, in the moment they were very, very scary, but looking back I think that they're like hilarious to like reflect on and be like, wow, like how did I do that as like a 5-year-old child in kindergarten? Like I have changed so much. And it's just so funny to me because I'm like, I would never steal from someone now, but looking back, I was such a rebel in kindergarten, and I don't even know why. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a blessed day, guys.